Hello guys, Furball the Hammy, your friendly neighborhood hamster, is back again for another Hypixel Skyblock video, and Slayers finally got an update after 1 year and 6 whole months. Behold the new Tier 5 Revenant Horror boss. The Tier 5 Revenant comes with a whopping 10 million base health, 6000 base damage per second for melee with 3 abilities, starting with Redemption, which is a direct upgrade from the original Life Drain ability, which regenerates health rapidly even faster than Life Drain originally did. This is then followed by 2 new abilities with the Tier 5 Revenant. Firstly, Explosive Assault, which launches TNT at you every few seconds. The rate at which the TNT is launched increases when the boss goes under half health. The spot where the TNT lands is marked by stained red and white clay, which you will be given 2 to 3 seconds to move away from. Beware that being hit by this attack does massive damage, and out-healing it isn't always possible, especially when the boss drops under half health. And the last ability this boss has is Thermonuclear. It sounds scarier than the earlier abilities, but it is the least dangerous ability. When the fight goes long enough, the Revenant will stop attacking and charge up a growing circle around it for around 5 seconds before channeling lightning down in a radius, dealing huge damage to anyone standing within that radius. However, it rarely uses this ability, and when it does, you are given plenty of time to run away, and it's honestly the least scary ability out of the 3 abilities this boss have. And thus, with the horrifying stats and abilities, and specifically huge damage that the Tier 5 Revenant has that can insta-kill you or 2-tap you with Explosive Assault, you have 2 options to deal with this boss, and tanking is not a very viable solution and isn't always going to be effective or successful. And hence your first option, which is the cheaper and more viable option, is the hit and run strategy. This strategy involves you constantly being on your feet and dodging the TNT shown by the red circles while going in for strikes when the opportunity opens up. In fact, this was the original strategy I used when I was using the Humble Superior Dragon Armor and Reaper Falchion for Tier 5. And it works. You can kill the boss, but it isn't the fastest or the most efficient method. But it works. You can kill the boss. And for most players who don't have hundreds or millions of coins, this strategy is by far the cheapest and the best you will be able to deal with the Tier 5 Revenant, as well as to being the most consistent. You can also do this with Necron Armor or Superior or Frozen Blaze, or any damage based build with a Reaper Falchion. I also recommend bringing a damage pet to speed this hit and run process as well. Examples of this would be the Griffin pet, or an Ender Dragon pet, or a Tiger pet, or even the Blaze pet if you are using Frozen Blaze. The build is similar to fighting a Tier 4 Revenant, but you better be moving and not camping in a corner to stay alive and to do your damage before, dying. And next up, the second strategy is the most efficient strategy but requires hundreds of millions and even billions of coins sometimes. The kill or get killed strategy. Essentially, this strategy involves you killing the boss faster than it can kill you, which means that the wall is going to be your best friend here to get the most hits in. The builds for this strategy involves heavy damage builds and weapons. An example of a build that can utilize this strategy is the One for All Emerald Blade with the Reaper Falchion, with the Reaper Armor with the Crown of Greed, or Warden Helmet with the Griffin pet, or Ender Dragon pet, or Tiger pet, or Black Cat if using the Warden Helmet. This strategy involves weapon swapping, which has been around since the dawn of time, and if you haven't figured out how this works, it involves you holding the Emerald Blade and left clicking and instantly swapping to the Reaper Falchion in your hotbar, in turn allowing you to use the insane damage of the Emerald Blade to pair with the ability of the Reaper Falchion of plus 200% damage dealt against zombies. Reaper Armor is also used here because of the insane plus 200% damage against zombies for bursting the enemy down as its set bonus, and is also a 3-piece armor set, allowing you to use another hit gear such as the Crown of Greed or the Warden Helmet to boost the damage even more. On top of that, the Reaper Armor has the Enrage ability, which gives you plus 100 speed, plus 100 strength, and plus 100 damage upon crouching for 6 seconds, boosting your damage even further to even higher limits, allowing you to kill the boss even faster. The Warden Helmet is paired with the Black Cat because the helmet halves your speed but gives plus 10% weapon damage for every 25 speed you have. This means that with Black Cat and its base 500 speed, which will be half the 250 speed with the Warden Helmet, you would would be able to gain a huge plus 100% weapon damage. Crown of Greed is the budget option and is way cheaper, but is still great with its plus 25% base damage but consumes coins on use. With the Warden Helmet and Black Cat, I was able to get 7.34 million damage with the weapon swap, and with the Crown of Greed and Griffin Pet, I was able to get 5.62 million damage with the weapon swap. Bear in mind that my Reaper Falchion was not recombobulated, didn't even have critical 6, and wasn't even Fuming Potato booked, and doesn't have Smite 7. So it's certainly possible to get way more than the 7.34 million damage I did. I don't even have Foraging 60, but I do have Combat 60 because I'm a Slayer Maniac, not a Skill Maniac. Anyways, this strategy is by far the most effective because you will be able to kill the Tier 5 Revenant in 2 hits or even 1 hit if you have all Talismans, max Foraging, and had an absolutely max Reaper Falchion. Now, is it worth grinding the Tier 5 Revenant? Well, the RNG drops are selling for a lot right now and the items sure as hell does seem to be great, so I doubt that the RNG items will be worthless. The new RNG's Pity Timer that was added to Slayers seems to make Slayers a bit more worthwhile, and personally I do enjoy Slayers a lot more now, since once again it is profitable and on top of that has a lot of quality of life changes such as the Pity RNG's Timer, and on top of that still allows me to play the game solo, which means that I don't have to wait 15 or 20 minutes to find a good party back in my Kera 38 days 3 months ago, which is somehow still decent after 3 months of not playing dungeons. And with that, I hope this short video helped, and a Slayer a day keeps a /GKit command away, so be sure to do your daily Slayers. And this is Furball the Hammy, your Slayer Maniac, signing out. See you guys in the next video, and I need to go do some Tier 5 Revenants.